It's still January and you already feel like you failed on your New Year's goals? Or maybe it's not January anymore, but you just can't stay on track no matter what you do. Then this video is for you. We'll talk about all things motivation and discipline so that you can stay on track and finally achieve everything you ever wanted. Setting your goals more often, for example once a month, will definitely keep you more motivated. Okay, but why? Because by setting goals more often, you will probably set smaller, more realistic, more doable goals, less intimidating ones, and by default then, you will be more likely to meet them. And if you are constantly meeting those smaller goals, then you are motivated to do even more and more. You feel like you're growing, you're succeeding, and you will be stuck in that motivational loop. It can also help you adapt the goals to your current life vision better, because it's hard to guess where you will be at 8 months from now, right? So setting the goals for a whole year may not be effective, so it's really a good technique to treat each first day of the month as a new fresh start and set those monthly goals. It's time to quit your 0 or 100 mentality. What do I mean by that? It's about being either on 100% of keeping up with your goals, healthy habits, being even obsessive about those, and after one small failure. For example, you wanted to quit sugar and you eat one chocolate bar. Then everything is ruined. You're back to 0%. Nothing makes sense anymore and you just are done. I don't know about you guys, but I struggle with this a lot, with finding that middle ground. Once I'm in that 100% mode, I'm doing all the things I never thought I could do. I would have the discipline and motivation to. But after one small setback, I'm back to square one. Or actually square zero in that case. It's really important to acknowledge that if you have this 0 or 100 mentality, it may be sabotaging you, your growth, and preventing you from keeping those long-term commitments. What can help is to actually realize that we are humans, not robots, not yet, and some margin of error is ingrained in everything that we do. It's expected, it's natural, it's how we are built. So once you realize that the goal is actually not to be at 100%, but at 80%, 90%, maybe 70%, if you are going through a tougher periods in your life, then staying on track despite small setbacks will be easier for you. So remember to be gentle and kind to yourself. We are not machines. Set smaller goals, one at a time, and this is especially helpful if you are struggling with that 0 or 100 mentality I've just mentioned. Why? Because by setting one small singular goal and focusing on just that, it will be easier for you to actually not fail on it and kind of effortlessly integrate it in your life. And after some time, when the goal is already achieved, you can add some small additional goal. So how would that work in practice? Let's say that you want to actually eat a healthier diet, but going from a standard Western diet to a super clean diet will probably result in many failures, setbacks that can get you in that 0% again. We don't want that. So what you can do in that situation is actually focus on one small thing. For example, quitting jelly beans. You hear me right, you can still eat chocolate, everything, just focus on one thing. Then after a month, once your mind is not even thinking about jelly beans anymore, you can go further and exclude chips, for example. From my personal experience, it's the best way to create lasting change in your life. I was the person that was drinking 1 or more energy drinks a day for like 2 years probably. Imagine how many liters of energy drinks I poured into my body. Not great. And a few months ago, one day, I decided that I'm fed up with this and I quit. But I didn't quit caffeine, I didn't quit unhealthy food. I just decided to quit on one thing. I decided to make that manageable small change. And how it went? I didn't even feel the need to buy one literally a few days later. And now after 4 months, I'm sometimes forgetting that energy drinks even exist. So definitely go try that if you struggle with staying on track. Another great thing you can do to make your goals work for you is adding exceptions to them. Life is quite unpredictable, and even if you set the goal to work out 5 times a week, you wouldn't like to work out with a broken leg, would you? Or just when you're sick. Adding those exceptions can be a great way to actually be more kind to yourself, let yourself breathe, and give yourself that space to have the step back when necessary without actually feeling like you failed, because you haven't. You're still staying on track, and exceptions are part of your goal. So how would that look in practice? Let's stick to that workout case. You can set the goal like, I will work out 5 times a week if I feel well physically, or if I'm not sick. Or my example, I wanted to quit sweets. How typical. I set the goal to actually not eat sweets at home without any occasion. But if there's any birthday, any celebration, or if I'm just going out with friends, I will have that cake if I want to. It works for me like a charm, and I really hope it will work for you too. I also don't think it's too late to add some exceptions to the goals you already set some time ago, so go do it. Next thing. Check if the goals you have are truly yours, because if you are struggling to achieve them, maybe you actually don't care about them subconsciously. Maybe someone convinced you that this is the right thing to do, maybe it was your family, maybe it was society, or maybe you are just doing them to make someone feel proud or make someone feel jealous. You can do a little exercise right now. If you were on a deserted island, would you still set the same goal? Would it matter to you? If no, then it's probably not yours. So you should think whether you want to continue pouring your energy to it, or if you want to just forget about it and focus on something that is truly yours and is coming from within. Now let's talk about one thing that is constant in our lives: change. We change all the time, and the goals you set some time ago, even if they were aligned with your life vision then, they may not be anymore. Don't be afraid to pivot when it's necessary. There's nothing wrong in changing the path you're in. It's not a failure, it may be even the opposite. So what I recommend you doing is every now and then just think about if the goals you set are still serving you and are still the things you want to do. And if not, maybe readjust them a little bit, or just cross them out of the list, literally cross them out aggressively, so that you can focus on the things that truly matter to you in that very moment. Alright, let's just dive into the topic of motivation. It's a big one. So we all know that motivation comes and goes, and if it goes, then we don't feel like doing anything at all. So you need to actively renew your motivation. But how can one do it? Well, it's actually quite simple. First thing is to remind you why you actually set the goal in the first place, why you decided to make the change, what was your motivation then, what was your why. Write all that down. This way you can actually get in touch with the main reason you started in the first place. You can also go a bit further and read about scientific benefits of the things you want to do, or success stories of other people. Just go online and get yourself re-inspired. And lastly, if you haven't made the vision board just yet, this is the time. Visual stimulation and constant reminder will help you stay on track and will renew your motivation basically every time you look at your vision board. If you're interested in a vision board topic, we spoke about it a bit more in my 2024 prep video, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It will be linked somewhere here. Ever considered what may happen if you just continue doing what you've always been doing and don't make any change? Yeah, it may be terrifying for some to even think about it, where they are going to be in 10 years from now if they don't make any changes. Now listen, it may be a bit controversial, but fear to an extent can actually be a surprisingly good motivator that you can use and leverage to your own benefit. You just need to think about where you are going to be a few years from now if no change is made, and it should motivate you to stay on track. How would that work in practice? Let's say you want to practice your Spanish because you want to travel more, and also you have some Spanish-speaking friends that you want to be able to talk with effortlessly and just make those relationships stronger. If you continue to not learn it though, the idea of traveling to a country where you can't really talk with people may be too intimidating for you, and you won't travel at all at the end. And also the relationships may start to slowly decay as you can't really have those deeper and meaningful conversations. You can just communicate on a basic level. That is pretty terrifying, right? Or at least unpleasant to think about. This method can also remind you that time is pretty precious. We don't have a lot of it, so the quicker we act, the sooner we actually will live our dream life, or at least a good life. So we spoke about motivation a bit, but while motivation can give you that sudden kick, then what you should really focus on is building discipline. Only that will allow you to keep going, even when you don't feel like it, and that moments will come for sure. Don't rely just on motivation, but try to build habits instead. And after some time, habits will be ingrained into your daily routine, and you will be doing them automatically. If you are interested in habit building, we actually talked about that a bit more in my previous video, so if you want to delve into that topic, definitely go watch it. We can also build discipline by pushing ourselves to do things that we aren't necessarily into doing. Now, I'm not talking about going for an hour run each morning if you hate running. Not really. I'm just talking about small things like getting up earlier, no matter what, or taking a cold shower in the morning. Anything that requires you to push yourself a bit. You are then just training your body and your mind and getting used to doing the things that suck that you don't feel like doing that are unpleasant. And this way you will be building discipline that will help you to stick to your goals long term. One of the most effective ways to stay connected to your goals is actually creating them in a physical form. So what do I mean by that? If you still haven't done that, write your goals down, print them, put them in some visible space, for example on your fridge door or above your desk. Having that constant visual reminder will help you to keep them at the forefront of your mind and will help you remember what direction you want to go in. Also, just the fact of writing them down can actually show your brain that you're pretty serious about it. Make a little ritual out of it. Lit some candles, just do something special so that your mind will know it's a big deal. You can be even more creative and actually create a contract with yourself, print it, and sign it like it's a real document. You can even ask someone else, maybe a family member or friend or a partner, to sign it as well so that they can keep you accountable. Let's actually stay in a topic on how other people around you can help you achieve your goals. Sharing your goals with others that will be supportive towards you can make a big difference. And it may even turn out that some of these people are actually having similar goals to you, so you can try to achieve them together. Maybe if you both want to work out more, you can plan some workouts together, or if you both want to learn the same language, you can sign for a language course together. It will make the journey easier for both of you, you can re-inspire yourself, and it can actually make your relationship also stronger, so that's good. If you can't find anybody in the real life around you that is supportive, then just go online and find some chats, some forums, some groups of the people that are focused on the same goals that you are, and this way you will find that accountability partners and stay on track. And last but not least, remember about rewarding yourself. Celebrating your achievements, no matter how small they are, is key to keeping yourself motivated long term. So treat yourself by, for example, getting a massage, getting your nails done, going to a cute coffee shop and getting a coffee, anything that will make you feel special and actually rewarded for your hard work. It's really important to recognize your successes and be good to yourself, and it will also make the journey way more enjoyable. Okay, so that will be all from me today. I really hope you feel ready to get back on track and achieve everything you want. See you in the next video. Bye!